Hello, I'm Zach Kolakowski and welcome to Kolatech. This is a small independent Volkswagen Audi Group performance specialist. We do a lot of Golf Rs, S3s, Cupras, RS3s, RS4s. Those sorts of vehicles are like very common to see around here. We also do maintenance, repairs, servicing, modifications, chassis setup, track builds, whatever you really want within that spectrum of vehicles we sort of do here. Today we have this Cupra 280 in for a full suspension package along with some brakes as well. We'll get it in and I will show you what the car is about. So let's see what the customer has brought us. This seems to be like a Kolatech special sauce at the moment. We're doing a lot of this. Monroe right end shock absorbers, eye-back springs, Monroe top mounts, wheel spacers. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff. So let's just start unloading this. We'll put it on the floor over there and we'll unbox it and you can have a look. So as you can see here, Monroe ride sense suspension, eye-back springs, Super Pro lower arms, racing line dead set kit, Monroe fitting kits, top mounts, bump stops, blah de blah, Brembo rear discs, Brembo rear pads, EBC front brakes, EBC front pads. It's a lot of work. Did I say Super Pro lower arms? Probably did. And also a full chassis setup afterwards and alignment, so. Wish me luck. This is going to be a big job. Going to be on this all day, maybe a bit of tomorrow as well, so this is good. I will see you then. Oh. So here you can see why the customer has opted for all this work. Customers like this are excellent, very proactive, and just want the best for the car. These are the favorite sort of customers of mine. So we can see here we've got a slight damper leak from the DCC shock, and all the old oil's just chilling and congregating and just gathering dirt there. So because of all this, he's decided to go for the full suspension refresh. You can see the discs are looking quite tired, so again, full brake refresh. And then obviously we've got the lower arms as well, which is going to be excellent. Very excited for this. It's going to be a big job, but it's going to be a transformation, that's for sure. So let's get cracking. Probably going to start with the front end first. Because it's having disc and pads, probably going to take the caliper off separately, hang that out of the way, take the carrier off, take the disc off, and then it's a bit lighter for me when I'm lifting the leg out. As if you've watched my videos before, you know the way I like to do these. So that's the way, I love doing it that way. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go around everything, give it a good douse with maintenance spray, and then probably give everything a good clean up with a wire brush. So I'll start on this side and I'll show you what I do. So that is pretty much all the suspect bolts, which we know are a bit problematic, all lubricated, ready to go. So we'll do all four corners now, and then we'll start stripping. So you can see here we have drive shaft loose, drop link loose, ball joint loose, brake calipers hung up securely, nicely over there, out the way with no stress on the line. And then, yeah, we just basically need to do the 3 top mount bolts and get this on the floor.
So here is normally the bit where it's a little bit difficult on your own, but because the brake disc is off, which is pretty much most of the way, it was really easy. I've never actually done such a big amount of work in one go, especially brakes and suspension like this all in one big package, so it was nice. It's a bit of a different way of thinking, but it's much easier.
There you can see the leg is off the car now. We have full whole leg off, brakes stripped, ready for the brake upgrade. What we do have left to do is lower arm. So we can get this lower arm off now, because we've got all this space. And then once we've got the lower arm off this side, we'll do the same on the other side. And then we can fit the dead set kit whilst we've got all the room in the world, basically. So we'll get the other side stripped to this level, and then we'll do the lower arms and the dead set kit in one go. Save ourselves some headache and make things a bit lighter, because we are on our own. So that's the way we like to do it. Also, customers got some new drop links as well by the look of it. I need to unpackage a few bits. Yeah, because if we've got drop links, then we can just get those stripped ready to go as well. Right, so here we have the lower arms. These bolts are holding them on. So we're going to whiz these off on both sides, and then the subframe's nice and light for when we do the dead set kit. And that's the plan going ahead. We'll whiz these off. We've got the drop links off, so basically it's going to be a bare subframe soon. And then once we've got it to that level, we can open up some parts and get fitting some new stuff, basically. Right, so here we have the racing line dead set kit. That goes at the bottom of the bolt. That one goes at the top of the bolt like that, and that just stops the wiggle room in the subframe. It's hard to describe, but the subframe, let's just for example say the bolts are 10mm, the holes are 12mm, just to give you a bit of adjustment on the subframe. Basically the dead set kit just locks all of that up, and it's just an excellent piece of modification, especially if you're going to be removing and installing the subframe, doing other bits. This customer is going to be potentially doing anti-roll bars in the future, so the subframe will have to come off, which means that if we have this installed, it won't need an alignment afterwards. So these are just one of my favourite mods, really, just for maintenance and cost effective for the customer long term.
So here is the perfect angle to see the dead set kit in action. You can see the upper washer and the bottom washer. And can you see where the subframe used to be? Where it's nice and red, and where the subframe is now. So you can see the subframe's miles out of where it was, and that's because it's now fixed in position. So if I show you the back, similar story, although it's really hard to see the back, hence why I haven't really videoed it. It's a bit of a difficult job to see, but you can see up there, the subframe's a bit over to the right where that's where it wants to sit. So I'll get all these brackets back in, and then I'll torque these bolts up, and then jobs are good and basically looking better. I'm going to use some special lubricant I've got just to try and stop that from happening prematurely, because there's nothing worse than creaky poly bushes. So I'm going to lube all these up properly and then get them installed on the vehicle.
Okay, so we are now on to the big bit of shock absorbers and those sorts of things. So we're going to make a pile of rubbish over there. So let me start opening some of these. Let me go and grab a knife. Oh. So, Monroe right end shocks. We fit a lot of these. We really like these. These are excellent. So let's have a good look. Make sure we have the correct ones. Again, they come with all these silly bolts which just aren't the correct ones for the cars. I don't like the idea of using a washer. That's not my idea of fun. So we'll chuck that in our getting ever bigger rubbish pile over here. Oh my God. Right. Super Pro. Boom. There you go. The rear stuff we'll just push over to the Alpha a bit. Oh. They're so nice, these are literally the same as what they come from factory with. These are proper genuine style parts, these, because Monroe make the shock absorbers for Volkswagen. So let's get some of these bits and see what these are about. What have we got? Let's see what we've got. We have bump stop kit. That's cool. I love it when I get a bump stop kit. Bump stop kit. Lovely. What's in here? Rears. So we're not bothered about rear yet. Brake pads rear. Let's see what these are. This is a top mount kit, I'm thinking. Yes, it is. Top mount kit, excellent. With all our relevant nuts and bolts, which is good. Again, these top mount bolts aren't as nice as the original ones, so I like to use the original ones, but these are excellent. That's excellent. And actually the shock absorber nut, which comes with this kit, is much better than the one provided with the shock absorber. Weird. See you later. Then we have another top mount kit and bearing. Lovely. Such a major weak point of MQB vehicle is those. And then we have IBAC springs. So, like I've said in the previous video, if you haven't watched, we have bump stops made for the IBAC spring here. This is an OE bump stop, and that's the IBAC one. It's a lot shorter, so we won't be using them. I'll put them there. That's what we'll be using. We'll be using that. We'll have to strip the shock absorbers to get them rubber base plates off, get the rubber base plates off, and then go from there, and then we'll build it all back up. But like I said, the hub's nice and light because we've took it all apart. We won't use that, we won't use that. We hate these. They're awful. So we're getting somewhere. Let's just start cracking on. So here we have now a fully built shock absorber with brand new IBAC bump stop kit, fitted correctly, the correct way up. It's lovely, isn't it? Lovely. Make sure that's nice and smooth, quiet, fitted correctly around the edge, which it is lovely. Get this back in the hub. So you can see I stripped the old shock absorber, and that is because of this little perch here. Can you see that little perch here? That rubber perch. I should ideally keep them in stock and sell them, and then I can fit them when I put them on. Make more sense really. But either way, she's a good one. She's ready to go in. So I'll get this side built up and slid back in the hub, and then the other side is just rinse and repeat. Okay, so top mounts are torqued, paint marked, drop links are on, torqued and paint marked, shock absorbers are on, hub nuts on, we have lower arm on, carrier bolts torqued, yellow paint marked, we have the bottom steering arm torqued, the level center torqued, lower arm torqued, all your dead set kit done. So that front corner is all good. So that's what they look like. New shocks, drop links, lower arms, disc pads, dead set kit, all on. Just got to finish off the other side now. And then we are going to quality control that, and then we're on to the back. Okay, so first steps first, shock absorber removal. I've actually removed this side, I got a bit ahead of myself. You can see that's on the floor there. Next step is the coil spring, so we'll get the coil spring off next. But obviously, as always with all these modern vehicles, please be careful of the level sensor. We all know mechanics who've snapped them. I've done it, everyone's done it I think, so be careful of those. We've also got to remove the drop links as well. And then we can just keep pushing. We're getting there. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. So we have rear dead set up and fitted. You can see it sneaking through there, the Racing Line logos. And that's on both sides, which is good. So that's all good. On to the next bit. And ta-da, we have a new drop link and eye-back lowering spring fitted to the back. The drop links will have to be bolted in at the bottom when the rest of it is all in on the other side. I'll do shock absorbers last, because the springs are the hardest bit really. Probably set you on a tripod here, and I'll show you how I do the springs on this side. Easy peasy really, nothing too complicated whatsoever. What is the crime? Eating a meal? Succulent Chinese meal? Ugh. Let me tell you about my best friend. Taking the piss out of me, Johnny. Okay, so the sun is shining, which is nice, but it makes it hard to film. So we've got new drop links, springs, shock absorbers, and everything's paint marked for quality control. We need to plug in the sensors. All looking pretty good. I've tried to undo the toe arms and they are moving, but they're a bit stiff. The bushes are starting to spin a little bit, so I've lubricated them. We'll see how far we can go on the toe. You can see here, just from being here right now, it's massively towing out. You can see there, so we're gonna have to try and fix that. I might just quickly try and fix that whilst it's on the ramp. Obviously when it settles, it'll tow in. Should do, will it settle? Or it'll probably tow out actually, it'll splay out, so we need to try and fix that before it goes down. Eyeball that up a bit, and then go from there. But we're getting there, we're looking a lot better. Right, so we have all that on now. We are just... So last thing to do now is the rear brakes, which are in these Brembo boxes here. We also have wheel spacers, which I don't think we actually wanted fitting today. So we'll leave those there. And as for the brakes, we shall do the brakes now. Rear ones. Oh, customers opted for some Brembo ones. We'll get them put on. Okay, so that's the Cupra pretty much done. Just got to, well, I'm going to do an alignment now. So I'll do tyre pressures. Well, sweep up first, do a good sweep up, do tyre pressures, and then do an alignment. And then we are pretty much done, I would say. Tired, it's tiring, stuff like this. What I'm going to do first, double check all the tyres, make sure they're all somewhat matching-ish. Before I do an alignment, do all the tyre pressures, and then drop it on the patch. But before all that, I'm going to have a good sweep up. I'll send the car up, have a good sweep up because it's a bit messy in here now. All the parts is fine. I just need this working area to be clean to do an alignment properly. So, Cupra is now on the flat patch. This flat patch is bespoke for MQB vehicles. I know it's perfectly flat here. If we didn't have an MQB vehicle in, we would have to laser level the patch and go from there. So first things first, as always, is cambers. Let's check the cambers. I've done tyre pressure, so we're ready to go. I'm just going to get my alignment gear down. We'll do some base camber settings, and we'll see what they're looking like. We have a tolerance of probably about 0.2 on these. It's a standard car. There's no adjustment on the front. There's only really bad adjustment on the back. They're a pain in the arse, these things, but we'll try and aim for 0.2 of a degree within each other. On the back, the front is what it is, it's fixed. So yeah, we'll do that first, make sure the cambers are somewhat where they should be, and then we'll get the strings out and then do some toe adjustments if necessary, which probably will be. Back's a bit concerning because them toe arms were pretty seized, so we'll see when we get there. So the toe adjustments have been done. What I'll do is I'll just lock everything off and I will give it a roll test in the morning and see if she drives straight. Hopefully she does. If she doesn't drive straight, I'll just get it back on patch and do some tweaks, but fingers crossed she does. It's been a big job that. It's a late night, but get it all done in a day. Okay, so there's another easy watching Cupra video for you guys. If you like the video, please comment, like, share, subscribe. If you want to get booked in for similar work, just message me on Instagram at Colatech here. I'm very active on Instagram, posting daily stories and stuff like that. So let me know if you want any work like that doing, or bespoke alignments. We can do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and thanks for watching.